Good morning, noodlers. This is Paul Romero with the Sell a House Wholesale Real Estate Training number. What the heck are we? 38, 39. Let's go with 38. And we have John on the call this morning. We don't have a visual of him, but he is here live in voice. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Paul. It's great to be here on another Hangout training video with you. I'll contribute a little bit today, but I think I'm going to have you run this thing today because I'm on a remote location doing this from a cell phone, and I don't want to lose signal here and screw things up. I understand you were talking about time management and a couple of other awesome concepts on Monday, and I'm real excited to hear what else you're going to go ahead and add to all that. So with that, I'll throw it back to you. Everybody enjoy today's hangout, and I'll be here listening in, Paul. I may lose you, but just keep going without me.
Well, since I don't have a visual on you, if you want to chime in on anything, just butt right in, all right?
Sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, on Monday we were talking about the time management system, and we got into the whole idea of 8 hours of sleep, obviously, 8 hours of productive time devoted to your business or your job or whatever, something that earns you your money that for you to survive off of and live off of. And then that leaves you with 8 hours of quote, free time, time for yourself. And it's very interesting. We got into the call this morning with Jeff. I don't know, were you on the call this morning, John?
I was. I
Uh,
did listen in on the call.
so it's very interesting. He threw something in there this morning that I got to pull up the other thing that actually goes along with this. And he was saying that yeah, most people have plenty of time. Most people are just lollygagging through life, and they have plenty of time. So they think. They have plenty of time, and they have plenty of time to kill, and they're out there, and they're very, very, very good at doing nothing more than killing time. And that sort of goes along with this whole time management thing. And what I was talking about on Monday of this week was to chronicle your day. Write down each and every, when the second you get up out of bed, write down the time you got up out of bed. If you go in the bathroom and you're gonna brush your teeth and take a leak and get yourself ready. Okay, what time did I come out of the bathroom getting ready? 8:15. Whatever it is, and just throughout the day, everything that you do, just write the time that you basically and what it is and how long it took you to do each one of these things. And at the end of the day, or the next day, which should actually be you should have been doing this yesterday because that was my challenge on Monday for you to do it on Tuesday. So you can prepare yourself. You can get your pen. I want you to start in the middle of the day, so you can start the second you got up. And so you should have done this yesterday. So this morning or last night, hopefully, after you were finished, you had some time to look this over and really have a chance to see, how much time you truly are wasting, how much time you really are killing, how much time you actually do have that you can, devote to this time management system. Because that was my whole reason for going into that was because I know for me right now, I'm spending a lot of time, working on my business, working on the real estate business, working on concepts and developing ideas to grow in my network marketing business. And I have my fingers in a couple other pies too. So there's always ideas. I mean, if I burn out on ideas on the real estate, or I just need to take a break from that, I can set the next hour aside and I can start thinking about some things for one of my other businesses. And so I mean, but I'm constantly have something to think about. I'm constantly working on something, and with the time management system, I have all this stuff on my plate. So it's a little bit difficult for me even to incorporate the system of this time management system and to actually apply the times that are required of this system as they're written out. So for me right now, actually, I've shrunken down the scale of it so that I can at least be doing all of these things for a period of time each and every day, which in all actuality, I'll be straight up honest with you, I'm not a success at yet. I'm failing at doing this each and every day. There are days that it gets overlooked and missed, and I don't get to it, et cetera, and so on. But I'm still working my way towards incorporating this into my life as a regular daily routine. And that's where I was pointing out yesterday the importance of a starting place, and that being understand where your time is going. Do I have? How much time am I just, that was the whole thing for yesterday was, or Wednesday was the importance of, I'm sorry, Monday. Today's Wednesday. The importance of, figuring this out and figuring a place to start. And before I get into breaking down this whole time management thing a little bit more, I just want to say that, now that you've looked at your outline, your chronology of your day and where your time is going, um, you can figure out, how much time you can devote to this. Like I said, you might not be able to put a full 8 hours of your free time into this system. You may figure out that at the end of the day, things that are of importance that you are having to get done are going to take up more than the 5 hours that are allotted here, are going to take up more than just the 3 hours extra that come to you after what this system takes for the allotted 5 hours. So with that being the case, for instance, let's just say it's the opposite. Let's just say that you figure that 5 hours of your day is taken up in the other areas, so you only really have 3 hours left that you can devote to this system. Well, take these time periods and divide them up proportionately within that 3 hour period, and apply the time management system into just that 3 hours. By doing so, by just applying that into just that 3 hours, or that 2 hours, or that 1 hour, or that half hour, or even that 15 minutes, hopefully it's more than 15 minutes. There's a lot to squeeze into 15 minutes, but incorporating the whole system into whatever small time frame you actually have available will be difficult at first. No question. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be difficult at first. But once you get accustomed to it and you start getting used to it and you start doing it, it in and of itself is going to start creating more and more and more free time that you're going to be able to devote to this, and that you're going to actually find exciting and awesome and want to devote to this. That's the cool thing. You might seem like something, I don't, this doesn't make sense or anything like that, but the more you stick with it, the more it just starts to build on you and grow on you, and you get excited about it, and it's more fun and awesome, and you just, you want to do it. You start wanting to do it. You start wanting to have more time to pay attention and follow this system. So those are some pretty cool things. And like I said, the system in and of itself will grow that time for you. It just happens that way. That's what the system's developed for. So anyway, back to the outline of the system. You got anything you want to throw in on that, John?
You did a perfect job there, Paul. I would, but you were breaking up, and I'm driving right now. So.
All right, cool. No worries. Just want to give you an opportunity there. So anyway, the system itself. Let's lay out the system really quick here. 1 hour a day, quiet meditation. This breaks down into 5 segments within that 1 hour that you should be spending, in that 1 hour on, and what you should be thinking about during that 1 hour of quiet meditation. Okay, and we'll come back to that. After 1 hour of quiet meditation, you have 2 hours of what's called going the extra mile. And I said the other day, basically going the extra mile was giving of yourself to others. We're going to break that down in just a minute too. The next thing was 1 hour a day for personal development. And that basically I broke down into this, plain and simple, learning and growing. Okay. The number 4, the fourth thing, which makes the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th hour, is your mastermind alliance. And all I said about this the other day, I left you with, who are you talking to? Who are you hanging out with? Who do you listen to? Those kinds of things. So, and then the final thing, the final part of this for your 8 hours to complete your 8 hours is your actual time. And I got into the whole idea about, and John was, John was really gave me a great outline on this morning because he's actually going through it in his own life because he's being forced through his partnership through the paint company to actually be out this week, having to go to and spend his time, doing physical labor, painting on this project. So instead of being able to spend his time where he wants to be spending it, he's spending his time where he has to be spending it. And this is a huge factor. This is what we talk about as far as the whole idea of financial freedom and gaining your time freedom and getting up in the morning and looking at your to-do list, and there's nothing on there that says I have to. Everything on there says I want to, and that's what we're all trying to achieve. And right now, John's got a real slap in the face picture of what it's like to take your beautifully building I want to list and have to shut it down and scratch out a bunch of I want tos and replace them with I have tos. And it stinks. And when that happens in the morning, when your alarm clock goes off, when your list is full of I want tos, you jump up out of bed, you're ready to go because you know what? You want to. But when your list has full of a bunch of I have tos, the alarm clock goes off and you reach over and you hit the snooze button because you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to get up, So that's that's really kind of the slap that you got in your face this morning, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, totally. And really, Paul, I just want to throw in that it is really no excuse to not stick to the time management system. But, like you said earlier in the conversation here, that, you're striving every day to stick to a system, and you're not always successful, and, you strive for perfection. And the key is that you're trying to get better and better and grow and stick to that every single day. I just want to preface and say, you're right on the money with that, Paul. It's like I've got this project going on this week that I want to do it because my name is on it. I made a promise to somebody, and I'm going to fulfill that promise. But just the way things kind of got laid out in the time framing in the last minute, and some, believe it or not, some situations outside of our own business that impacted the time frame on this thing, it's now become more of a I have to get it done today, and there's no time to screw around, and it makes it harder to get that motivation and get up and jump up out of bed when you feel like there's something that you have to do and it's not something that you really want to do. But it is no excuse to not, because most of you, I'm imagining on this call, you've got jobs right now and you're looking to make a change in your life, and you're looking towards property noodling as one of those vehicles that are going to drive you to the promised land on the other side. But, you're doing your job right now, and it may not be what you want to do, and you may feel like, okay, I'm not super motivated to get out of bed here. This is something I have to do, and I really don't want to, but it's no excuse to not start implementing the time management system and doing some of the things that Paul and I said. And we're not going to pretend here for a minute that me and Paul are perfect level 10 people by any stretch of the imagination. We're learning and growing every day too, and striving to be that level 10 person. So I just want to throw that into what Paul was saying, that about what I'm going through right now, having to do this project and hitting snooze for an hour this morning, which is so uncharacteristic of me. And it just reminded me and brought me back down to earth a little bit of what most people have to face daily. But don't let it be an excuse. Make it your motivation to change your situation. I'm going to throw it back to Paul after that.
Yeah, I could take what you just said and go off on 3 other different subjects here, but I'm going to try to stick to the time management plan. But yeah, exactly. But do you see here? I mean, and it also, there's I think, I don't know, statistics are statistics. You take them with a grain of salt. It all depends on who did the study and what the outcome of the person paying the person who did the study wants to have as to what you really hear. But it said that over 65% of the people working are performing a job that they don't like. They're not doing something that they like. Plain and simple. So that means 65% of the people, quote, have to get out of bed in the morning because they have to go do something that they don't like. How motivating is that to get up out of bed? I mean, realistically, come on. You know, so the time management system is developed to help you regain some of your time, refocus your thought process so that you can find something that does excite you, that will, drive you and excite you to get out of bed in the morning, that you want to get up and go do because you're finding your purpose in life. So that's part of what the time management is all about, doing that, along with, of course, once you have found that, just to be able to perpetuate it in a way that is the most beneficial to you and to everyone else, actually. So getting back to the management system, okay, so the first hour of the quiet meditation, like I said, there's 5 key components to how you spend those 60 minutes and what you think about. I mean, because that's what quiet meditation is, right? You're going to sit there, you're going to keep your mouth shut, you're going to keep your ears open, you're going to keep your mind working, but what is your mind going to be working on? For most people, this is very, very difficult. Tell me. I mean, I can tell you, it was difficult for me even too, to sit there and actually try to focus my mind onto specific thoughts. Because when you first start doing this, thoughts are going to come racing in from all over the place, and you're going to start thinking about something for 10 seconds, and all of a sudden, boom, something else is going to jump in there and shift your thinking in a whole different direction, and you have to consciously realize, whoa, my thinking just shifted. I was thinking about this, and now I'm thinking about this. This is not what I want to be thinking about. I need to be thinking about this, and that's going to happen over and over and over again. And this is a huge thing to accomplish for people, is just to be able to actually sit there and focus your mind on the things that you want to be thinking about for a period of time, without letting the outside, thoughts that are just going to come shooting in from all directions to overtake the conversation in your mind. And so the things that you want to be thinking about during this time, for about 12 minutes apiece, I guess, would be the thing. Is the first thing you want to think about is your definite major purpose. And obviously, I said this is going to help you focus on things that you want to do. Well, your definite major purpose, for those of you who don't know, is like, why are you on this planet? What are you here to do? So you want to spend 10 minutes thinking about that. Why am I? And I came up this morning with an awesome little game called the I Want To game. And this will help you actually figure out what your definite major purpose is. And for 30 days, every morning or every night, whatever, morning I think is preferred, but every morning, get up and spend just a couple of minutes thinking about, okay, what do I want today? And write it down. And then the next day, same thing. And do this over and over for 30 days, but never look back on what you've already written down. Just when you wake up in the morning, just think, today, what do I want today? Okay, and write it down. And throughout the day, of course, you want to be thinking about that, because the more you think about it, the better chance you have of getting it done. But do that for 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, go back and look at everything that you wrote down, and maybe do a tally of some of the things that you wrote in there multiple times. So you can list them chronologically from, I want to do this the most times, and I want to do this, only once, and put them in an order. And that'll start helping you to develop your focus upon what your definite major purpose is, because you'll be starting to see what it is that you really want from life. And then do this again for another 30 days. Continue to do this for a long period of time, and do it for another 30 days. And at the end of 60 days, go back and compare your chronological lists of the most times that I want to do something. And you might see, hey, 5 times last month, I wanted the kids to get to school on time. And 8 times this month, I wanted the kids to get to school on time. So, obviously it's of major importance that I get the kids to school on time. So this is a cool little game. So anyway, back to the time management. 10 to 12 minutes, or about 12 minutes, thinking of your definite major purpose. Really, what do you want out of life? Okay. Next is thinking about the attitude of gratitude. And that is, the fact that you being thankful for everything. For 10 or 12 minutes, just sit there and be thankful for everything that you have, everything around you. Including the silliest things. I'm thankful for being able to have this shirt on my back so that I don't have to walk around bare chested all day long. I'm thankful for the carpet on the floor so I don't have to walk on cold concrete in the morning. I'm thankful for this pen so I can write down the thoughts that come out of my I mean, I'm thankful. I mean, and of course the important, things that obviously seem a whole lot more important than that. I'm just saying, there's really a reason to be thankful for everything around you, everything. Thankful for the fact that somebody invented these computers years ago so that I can actually be doing this hangout with you guys. So the attitude of gratitude, 10 to 12 minutes doing that, 10 to 12 minutes of self-analysis. Now, this is a tough one because in this one, what you want to be doing for self-analysis is you want to be thinking about, what is it that you need to overcome? What are your weaknesses? What are your fears? And what is it? What sort of things can I do to help me overcome these things? Because this is where you want to really grow yourself. And so the only way to grow yourself is to get yourself out of your comfort zone, which your comfort zone keeps you protected from your fears and your weaknesses. You know in your subconscious mind what it is that you fear and where your weak areas are, so you continually try to keep yourself away from those sorts of things. Well, obviously by self-analysis and bringing those things to light, understanding these are my fears and these are my weaknesses, how do I overcome them? You're forcing yourself out of your comfort zone. So this is a very cool thing. The next 12 minutes is for to contemplate harmony in your relationships, all relationships, personal relationships, business relationships, acquaintance relationships, casual relationships, happenstance relationships, walking down the street, and how you encounter a person on the street is a relationship. That's an interaction. Any interaction with a human being is a relationship, depending on, the length of time is all that really makes a difference in its classification. So how can you create more harmony in all of your relationships? Okay, that's the second thing. And then the final 12 minutes is to focus upon things that you want. And that sort of went back to the I want you the what I want game. And that, again, what you want helps you to focus upon your definite major purpose. Now, this section is also good for your dreams. What do you want for your dreams, and what is your ultimate? I mean, and you can think of long-term dreams and you can think of short-term dreams. You might have a short-term dream of, like, my gosh, I want a brand new stove so I can have a full 4 burners on top again instead of just the 2 because the other one's burned out. I can afford to change them. So it could be something like that, or it could be something as grand as I want to own an island in the Bahamas that whatever it is. So I mean, this is kind of like your dream building phase where you can think of everything that you want from the immediate to the long-term future. And this is where you just want to let your imagination go wild, everything that you could possibly want. And then you can also, while you're focusing upon these things, you can also classify them as to how much you believe you can actually get them. Now, there's a reason to do this, and it's not. This can be a good thing and a bad thing. Okay, this is only for classification, and it's to help you determine where you want to think about the most. Okay, so I mean, you can think of I want to own an island in the Bahamas, but when you think about how feasible is it that I can do that anytime soon? How much do I believe that I can actually get that? Within the next 6 months or the next year, and if your belief level is, pretty much a 1 or a 0 or anything like that, well, okay, hey, that's a dream, that's awesome, but I'm not going to spend my time thinking about that dream because, I don't believe in it right now. Okay, it's not. If I don't believe in it, then I can't get it. So there's no sense in believing in it right now. But if I look over here, where it says, I want that new stove that has the 4 burners, that everything works. Well, that's a believable dream. I can get that now. So I want to think about, okay, I want to get that new stove. So that's where I want to spend my time thinking, so that I can apply myself to achieving. So that's why I say classifying. And so So be very, very careful not to classify these things and and fall into the whole idea of putting doubt within your achievability. Just classify it as your belief level, and take the low belief levels and just put them over to the side and say, hey, these are great dreams. I can get back to them later. I just wanted to write it down so that I didn't forget that that was, I thought about that at one time as a dream of mine. And we'll see how we'll check back on this a little bit later and see how I think I might be able to achieve that, right? Keep your focus upon the things that you have strong belief in. The stronger your belief in achieving it and being able to get it is, the higher the probability is that you actually will get it and achieve it. So that's the only reason for classifying these in that respect. You should be very, very careful to stay away from the worry and doubt part of the things that you don't have high belief in. All right. So the next thing is, man, we're out of time already. The next thing is the 2 hours of going the extra mile. And as I said, this is how can you devote yourself to others. And this can be anything from, charity to charity work, volunteering, helping a friend move, maybe just sending an email to someone that did something for you and send them a special thank you note. Um, it can be, just, I mean, how can you go the extra mile for other people? Just anything that you can give of yourself to other people. And you spend 2 hours a day going the extra mile for other people. That's huge, because you only get out of this life what you put in. And the more you give, the more you will get. Okay. So that's the purpose of this one. Number 3, self-development. Simple enough. If you're not learning, what are you doing? You're dying. It's just that simple. You are a part of nature, are you not? So is a tree, right? If a tree's not growing, what is it doing? It's dying. If the grass is not growing, what is it doing? It's dying. If you are not growing, you are dying. It's just that simple. Self-development is something that we need to, spend 1 hour on every day, learning and growing. It's just that simple. Okay. The next one, and this is hugely important, 1 hour of your mastermind alliance. We've been talking a lot about, who do you listen to and all that sort of thing. Are these people the people that have the information that I want? Are these people that do the things I want to do, have the things I want? Are they the type of people that I want to be? And another part of this is, who am I hanging around with? Are these people, the kind of people that I want to be spending my life with realistically? I mean, are they going to help me get and grow, learn and grow to get to where I want to be? So a lot of aspects go into this mastermind alliance, and we're going to get into this a little bit more, because the mastermind alliance is hugely important. And I'm just going to express the importance of it by saying, one horse can pull a cart at one speed. 2 horses can pull a cart not at twice the speed, but at 3 times the speed. Okay, and that's how the Mastermind Alliance works. All right, with that, everybody, I am out of here. At Gmail, this is where you want to send us an email. Let us know that you want to flip a couple of houses, you want to make some money so that you can change your life with leaps and bounds, opposed to the slower work struggle situation, a way to do it. And or that I want to become, a hotshot wholesaler, and I want that to actually be my number one business, is flipping whatever level you want to be at, or anywhere in between. And we need team members too. If you are interested in finding out this business from the inside out, without really getting into the actual flipping of a house, we're more than happy to take anybody on board that wants to learn about this, that feels they can contribute something to Sell a House Arizona and Property Noodlers. We'll find out where your interests lie, and I'm sure there's a place within our organization that you could start learning something. Whether it's going to be a paid position or not, well, we'll have to talk about that. But we have opportunities. There's no question about that. So whatever level of involvement you think you property noodlers and Sell House Arizona might provide for you, send us an email. We're open to everything. All right. So with that, everybody, we're going to spend more time on this time management thing because this is hugely important. But with that, we're out of here with the Napoleon Hill prayer, which goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better uses of the riches you have given me at birth in order to consist consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire." Have a great day, guys.